Good evening. iCubian Organis at your service. Well. Today we're going to do a bit of UK politics. It's Wednesday hump day, and I know it is the 12th of December. And it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me being a bit frustrated. I completed an essay. I've sent it off for my course lecturer to do a once-over, check it out, tell me where I'm going wrong. If he feels I'm going wrong, whatever, and I haven't got that. But there's been lots of things going on. And no matter where you are in the world, if you know anything about UK politics, then you understand that on the 23rd of June 2016, the UK went to the polls voting, and they voted in a referendum to exit the EU and to be an empowered, free, independent United Kingdom, the first European Union. Hence, I've got the Union Jack, just to remind some people. Now, what's been going on in the media is really, really frustrating, and voices like mine are not being heard, not allowed to be heard. There are certain points that I bring to the table that the powers that be, who run the media, and these politicians, glove puppets, they don't want the public to hear those points. And if you've seen my video, Brexit and treason and sedition, this is what it's about. Now, you've got the Tory party, the Conservative party, are split down the middle. And the House of Commons is pretty much split down the middle. And the Labour Party is split down the middle. And it seems to me that they don't know how to fix this division. And it's terrible. Theresa May had a Chequers plan, and then she went Chequers 2.0, and she was telling everybody, this is the only deal, the best deal you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. Then they wanted to know what the Attorney General's legal position was. The Attorney General is the head lawyer-in-chief in the UK. What advice did he give her? Well, what she did, and her cronies, civil servants, they said, nah, you get a brief summary, that's it, you're not going to get it. And that, red antenna, flashing lights, they forced her to reveal what it was. So, the Attorney General's advice was revealed. Well, when they went through the 22 pages or whatever it was, or I can't remember what it was, they went through the several pages to find out what was it that she didn't want us to know. It was to do with the Northern Ireland backdrop, and it was to do with a little clause where the EU pretty much still got you indefinitely. You know what I mean? So, even though she's saying Brexit means Brexit and all the rest of it, Lancaster speech, all of that, she's got this deal that she's trying to push through, saying it's the only deal. She didn't want to give us the legal advice, or she wanted to hide it. We now know what the legal advice is, and he kind of pointed out that factor. Now, you can't blame him for pointing out that factor, but you can blame her for knowing about that factor and still trying to act like it's not a major playing factor. That alone got all the parties in the House of Commons pretty much don't want to know. Apart from her cronies who want to be, I want to be, You're always going to have slippery slope climbers, who are close to her. But most people see it for what it is. And to be quite honest, I don't know why they seem to want to disregard a clean, sharp Brexit. Just take your stuff, go. We're taking our stuff, go. That's it. We're done. They had a vote last week, I think it was, and they voted that there will not be a no deal. What they call a no deal Brexit, like breakaway clean. Yet, officially, Britain exit the EU on the 29th of March 2019, with or without, quote unquote, a deal. So I'm like, well, what are you voting for? No Brexit deal. Brexit is not about a deal. We're not making deals here. You know, soft Brexit, hard Brexit. All of this is coming from the media. Again, the media are paid for shills. Prostitutes, you call them. And so they talk about soft Brexit and hard Brexit. No. You're not soft pregnant, might be pregnant, possible. You are pregnant. Simple. All right? You're either married or you're not. You're divorced or you're not. And that's what we voted for, to get out. And I'm tired of people saying, oh, well, it's not that simple, you got to do this, I don't care. People leave, we leave, and then if there's anything else to discuss after, we do that. But we're out first. We split up, you know what I mean? Not going to be sleeping in your bed no more. You're not coming around my house no more. We done. All right? If there's little properties to sort out and it's a divorce, then we get the lawyers or, you know what I mean? But that's it. So the problem is, some people, it's getting really bad as well. Some people, MPs, they don't like the Brexiteers because they believe that Britain's place is in the EU. And they want to know what kind of deal, they want to have a say on the deal. That's number one. They want to have a say on the deal. Now, I can't remember what I said on my last video, but my point is this. There was a vote to remain in the EU. The EU is going a certain direction that if you remain with it as a person, you have no say over where it's going. All right? You got no say. And for those who want to remain in it are happy to let it go where it wants to go. Right? But they believe in it. They want that. Fine. But you voted to not have a say. When the vote came down, it was those who do want to have a say and stay and to leave the EU and be sovereign citizens, and those who don't want to be sovereign citizens. Those who know that to speak out of turn against your sovereign unity, the United Kingdom, the first European Union, to do that in peacetime is petty treason. And to speak on it is seditious. This is what's going on. And that's what needs to be reminded to these MPs. And the Crown Prosecution Service should be told, any MP speaking out against the Union and suggesting anything other than what we celebrated in 2012 is seditious, they should be warned once alone. Reminded. This is what consecutive bad education, Marxist university degrees that are handed out just because you follow the protocol, you know? But you're not learning anything. So I've just watched a sister newscaster interview Sir Michael Heseltine and Sir Anthony Seldon. Michael Heseltine used to be in the Tory party. He once upon a time had a run-off with Margaret Thatcher. But Sir Anthony Seldon is a historian. And apparently, she said, he's written 5 books about previous prime ministers. The man should know better. The man should know better. We just had the Golden Jubilee, 2012. Treason is treason. Sedition is sedition. And I've said it before, petty treason carries with it a life sentence. Most of the MPs are quite a few hundred of them, although all the Remainers are seditious and treasonous and should be charged. They're not going to listen to me, but That's how you solve the situation. So when you say, well, the Tories will survive and what's going to go on, well, until somebody tells them what's at stake, that, you know. So anyway, it so happens that 48 letters were submitted to the chairman of the 1922 committee, and that's how the Tories roll. They select their own leaders. Excuse me. They select their own leaders. They sack their own leaders. And when 48 letters, or 15% of their party MPs, say we've got no confidence with the leader, this is Theresa May, then they have a no confidence vote. And they bring her into Chamber 14 in the House of Parliament, and they say, well, what have you got to say for yourself, etc. Well, she's done that. Some of them come out, they're not impressed, and now they're all going to cast their vote. It's a secret vote, so what the thing is, they say that there's enough MPs who have said they're going to, back her up. Somebody also said yes. Sometimes people say that, but it's a secret ballot. They can say what they want, but when it comes to the ballot, they vote another way. So far, Teflon Theresa has survived it all. I personally, I'm not a Tory, I'm not a Conservative member or anything like that, but on this issue, they are right. Hard Brexit is the way to go. And hard Brexit is just Brexit. It means we're leaving, right? And I'm sick of Remainers talking about, oh, we were lied to. We were lied to. Oh, look at the bus. The bus said we were going to get 350 million. I'm sick and tired of hearing that, because every time I tell somebody, look at the bus and tell me what you see, there was no lie, and there was nobody said you was going to get anything. That bus did not say that, so shut up, right? It did not say that. I don't own the internet, and I didn't take the pictures. I ain't photoshopped them. It's just that somebody suggests something to you, and rather than you read it yourself, you're going along with what they say. You're stupid. That's what you are, okay? You Remainers are stupid. And I've had this discussion with Remainers, and they mentioned, a pal of mine mentioned the bus. I said, did you read it? I said, go and look at it and read it and tell me that's what they said. He shut up. Anyway. No, anyway. That's one of your major planks about what you said the Brexiteers lied. They did not lie. It was not a lie. You know what I mean? Besides, it was nothing to do with Brexit. That was Leave. There was two campaigns, Leave and Brexit. Leave had the bus. But even the bus, what did it say? It did not say you were going to have that money for it. It said you may. We could use that money, this kind of money, for what it didn't say we're going to. And it's definitely going to be available for it. Which is quite true. We're giving away 39 billion, getting what for it? Of course, if we keep the 39 billion, lots of things can be funded a lot better. That's a fact. Anyway, so we just have to wait until later on. I think at some point today, this evening, they're going to let us know how the vote went. I've still got a bit of lurgy, so forgive me. That's probably one of the reasons why you haven't heard from me lately. And of course, I'm in my dressing gown, honey and lemon and the rest of it. I thought I'd make the, I suppose it's going to have to be a short video, because sometimes it makes me wonder about the ability, or lack thereof, for people to have critical thinking skills. I'm not going to call them stupid, the general populace. I'm not going to call them stupid. They've been inculcated and trained, and everybody's stuck on their mobile phones, and the girls are giving it this and shoving their arse. Everybody's down on that, and they don't do history, pretty much like they don't do maths. So that's the state of play with the Brexit. Now, Teflon Theresa's got away with it so far. She should have never been Prime Minister. It should have never. But we're living in a gynocentric world, so pussy politics rule, what I call pussy politics. You know, there's this idea that men are horrible and women can do a better job, and we got to give them a job because they got a pussy. And every time these white men are giving to these women are ungrateful, and they can't do the job good anyway. So they only prove the point that they're useless. And Theresa May is useless. She's not useless, she's a functionary. Okay? I've just seen a picture of her a few years back campaigning to stay in the EU. I've never seen it before. I've heard she's a Remainer, but I've never seen it. I haven't seen it. What business did they have giving her the premiership when she had to carry out the job of being a Brexiteer and giving us the Brexit, the clean break that we wanted? This is the problem, and it's coming to our head, right? I'm pretty much sick and tired of it, because I realise this is about treason and sedition and nothing more, okay? We've been reminded about it, and if you look at my video, treason and sedition, look at them. Look at Brexit, my reasons. Just look at it. So anyway, that's UK politics, and I shall continue. Now, I'm a son of the soil. This is my country. I know of no other. I was born here, and there is no perfect country. I don't care how passionate you are. The American thing, hoo-ha, it's them, you know what I mean? The Indian thing is them, you know what I mean? Pakistan think is them, you know what I mean? Africa everybody thinks the land where they are is the best in the world. And I would argue there's some places that are, you know, desirable, you know, lovely weather and so forth. But this grand old country here has a history. It's not perfect, but it's got potential for a fantastic future. A world-beating, it could be the second imperial, the second empire, but without the bayonet and force, not the gunboat politics. It really could, right? And really do justice to the world. It needs to be done. But anyway, it is a country where we still suffer with what they call racism, you know, colour prejudice, etc. And it's raised its head again in our national sport, which is football. You know, the round ball that you kick, football, and most of it's played on the ground. If you touch the ball, handball. If you're an outfield player, the only person who can touch the ball is the goalkeeper. That game that we invented. I use the collective we, the royal we, collective we. You guys want to call it soccer, but, you know, it's football, right? And it comes down to, we've got quite a few more black players now. Once upon a time, you didn't have a lot of black players. Rarity, and they faced racism and all the rest of it from the fans, you know. Well, anyway, you know, it goes on, right? To what extent it is racism, for what extent it's laziness, and to what extent it's just sledging the opposition, right? Anyway, Manchester City were playing, who were they playing? Over the weekend. And I think they won the game. But anyway, Raheem Sterling, a young guy, played for Manchester City. Manchester City are the Premiership champions. Goes over to get the ball, and he's getting really some good stick from the fans quite near that corner. The media drums up, all of a sudden, racism. Some guy called him a black whatever. Now, I haven't heard Raheem say it. I haven't heard. I don't know. And in this country, you know, you just don't know, right? The guy's face is angry and all twisted and they're shouting. That's what fans do, right? When the opposition comes over, you know, and celebrates the goal, they all like, you know, they're doing all kind of stuff to put him off and all the rest of it. And you know what I mean? It generally advised, when you score a goal, don't celebrate near the opposition. Go to your own fans. We had the London Derby. My team, as you know, lost against that team. And one of our players scored the goal and ran over. Well, didn't ran over. He was at their end, and that kicked off because he was, celebrating his goal, but it just happened to be where it was. It's an emotional game, whatever. Did he deliberately do it? I don't know. He was at that end where they were. But it kicked off, and it's just the way, it's the culture of the game. But in the UK, media and the people who socially engineer your feelings and what you think and your views and tell you what to think, what to have an opinion about. They want they play black people like a fiddle. It's dog whistle politics. They'll say that's racism, and they want black people to say, yeah, horrible, horrible, horrible. And they just don't ever actually seem to look at it for what it is and say, you said it was racism. Let me see if it's racism, because I am not calling for it. And it seems to me that these agendas are being pushed by somebody else, because somebody else wants to benefit out of it. And we people of colour are not benefiting out of it. If anything, we're annoying other people because it looks like we are calling for something, and we are so sensitive that we can't, you know what I mean? Cry baby every bloody minute. I mean, Raheem Sterling earns a few million a year. So if somebody who pays money to watch him play, whether he's a fan or not, calls him calls him a nigger, you black cunt or whatever. Yeah, I use the word. If you don't like it, just switch off. I don't think you need to worry, because you're the one who's getting paid. Your life is okay. And I'm going to score a goal that's going to disappoint your weekend, for argument's sake. I think footballers earn millions. The kind of millions we're talking about. I mean, 300,000 a week. 300,000 a week. 52 weeks in a year. So 52 times 300,000, that's over 3 million. It's a lot more than that, but you know what I mean? For a man in his early 20s, that's good money. You can call me N-word all day long. Well, not all day long. When I play football and I come near you, I don't care. You know what I mean? I personally don't care. You know what I mean? If it makes you happy, fine. But we're living in this PC world, this neo-Marxist world where, everything's an offence and they want you to be offence, so they can bring in more laws and more word restrictions, so you can't say this, you can't say that. And it seems to me, just one of the reasons why I'm doing these videos, because at the end of the day, we need critical thinking and to challenge the neo-Marxists, and so that people who are listening can understand what I'm saying. It's very important that we have freedom of speech, and that means we have the right to be wrong. That's how we're built. That's how we learn. I don't know, I can't recall getting 1 and 1, 1 plus 1 ever wrong, but I'm sure at some stage, something simple of mathematics faculty I've got wrong when I was 4, perhaps. But because you were wrong, you understand why you were wrong, because you're being taught to learn, to calculate, to think critically, and so forth. So you become more accustomed to understand the methods and techniques and so forth to apply. So here we go. There's a big furore. They're getting all these ex-footballers, black guys. All of a sudden, it's black season on TV. All these black guys talking about this racist event and, whether racism's still going on, etc. And I'm like, number one, I don't know if the guy said anything racist. He was definitely angry and giving him jip, you know what I mean? Letting him have it. He wasn't the only one. The funny thing is, there was a black guy of the Chelsea supporters standing there. There was also a black steward who seemed to be sitting amongst them laughing, or a big smile on his face. So who knows what it was? It's football culture, and it was given. And the guy disputed that he said anything But it's kick white boy day, and try to puppet black people. And unfortunately, the footballers don't understand the bigger picture. I don't know if they actually believe that the media really gives a damn about black people and how they feel. Because it seems to me when black people asked Tony Blair about reparations, he said, no, that's your Labour guy. I wasn't Tories, that was your Labour. No, 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 you could barely apologise. And I'm like, nobody asked for your stinking apology. I don't care about your apology. I can't spend an apology. You know what I mean? You put yourself hundreds of years ahead of my people to this very day. You find it very... People call it white supremacy. You got these black people talking about white supremacy. I don't understand that. I really don't. But it's an American thing, and you got black people over here. To my mind, sound pretty racist to me towards white people. I've been to school with white people. Most of my teachers have been white. And there's been good teachers and bad teachers, generally speaking. I have been counted better good teachers than the bad ones. Count them on 3 fingers. You know what I mean? Some give a damn, some don't give a damn. Some are passionate, some like the feedback they get, etc. Some can inspire. Some may think they're not inspiring you, but they have inspired you, Education is one of these things. You can inspire somebody. It's like a seed that will germinate. You don't have to be there, and they will remember that. And forever be grateful. So, there was a campaign called Kick It Out, and was just heard, funnily enough, with all this big furore about this racism in football, Lord Herman Ousley, who's a black man, has just retired from his campaign he set up called Kick It Out. Football, kick it out. Kick racism out of football. And I'll admit, the FA and all of these kind of movements, I'm not impressed. I am just not impressed, because it seems to me that somebody tells them when to speak or what to speak about. And you've got to decide for yourself what you're angry about, if you're angry, and try to speak. I can't get on the mainstream media anymore because they know what I'm like. And so once I ring in, they know my number, they know my name, and then they won't let me on. Even though they'll say, we'll get back to you. Once they know that I've sussed it, that's it. Unfortunately, it's one of those things. And black people in this country, they sit down on their hands too much, and they watch one person do all the work. And once they've, the powers that be, no more him. They don't say, well, he's doing it, let me help. But if I was going to go out there as a black person and put some graffiti on my arm, you see how quick they're going to follow. If I'm going to go out there, the women, and have sex and women, I do that. Anything trash and low. They're quick to follow that. But anything that critically thinking and has a heart, commitment for the yet to be conceived, so they got a world to live in, so that they can have that freedom of speech, they're not doing anything. They prefer to hear that, listen to the Pan-Africanists, the people who say Kwanzaa, that fake organisation, celebrate that. The people who say Mozart was black, everything was black. We were kings and queens and all of that bullshit, you know what I mean? So anyway, one of the reasons why, Kick It Out and these things and the FA wash over my head, I don't want to hear it, mate. One of these days I'll have these guys and destroy them. I don't have no respect for these guys at all. Because it wasn't so long ago, well, it's a few years now, that the England team was looking for a captain. We didn't have a captain. Beckham had retired. And there were 2 guys that's name came up. One of them is a black guy. Well, quote unquote, what we call black, you know what I mean? It was Rio Ferdinand, Manchester United defender, and John Terry, a white guy, Chelsea defender. Now, Rio Ferdinand, decent bloke, got his wife, had his wife. He's had a bit of tragedy in his life of recent times. I've got a lot of respect for him. I've got a lot of time for him. Good player. His wife died, not so long ago. Left him with the kids, you know what I mean? And he was pretty much cut up about it. But before that, there was this business with a job. Now, I think Barack Obama. I mean, we live in a racist country, and we've got racist people who are on the media and so forth. It's just one of those things. This is where I live, you know what I mean? And so you deal with it. So they want the captain. So the thing is, Rio Ferdinand's got no dirt on him.